remind him that the last time he sent the money, it was not enough to buy all the provisions.
Oh, sorry, I forgot to tell him.
Are you guys talking about money transfer to buy provisions?
Yes.
But don't you know about Baluwo?
Baluwo? What is Baluwo?
Baluwo is a service that your son can use to send provisions directly to you guys from the shop. And you don't have to worry about the exchange rate.
Tell me how Baluwo works.
It's very simple.
Just log on to baluwo.com and shop, or download the app on your phone. You can shop on the website or using the app to buy online basic products for your family and friends. With Baluwo, you decide what your money is spent on. Your money, your choice. Buy online products for your family and friends in the Gambia, Senegal, Nigeria or Mali. Baluwo, better than sending money.
In communication, connectivity is everything. We ensure that the links never sleep. Quantities and qualities, all in our data service, providing efficient, reliable voice and data service. We believe if you're not up to speed, then you're going backwards. Communications have to flow as fast as the speed of light. Whatever business you're in, having someone who understands your needs is critical. That is why we just don't offer you technology, we offer you solutions. Enjoy Gamcel's internet broadband anytime, anywhere. Your national operator, Gamcel, Yaibaram.
We wish to thank all of you for your presence here. Despite the short notice, we know the dynamism that CSO have. You can give notice very short and you see people come. And then on behalf of the director and all Tango members, we wish to thank everybody present here. Anyway, this is a small gesture to a contribution that Tango want to present to all of you here. We had a project called Pisca, funded by the French Embassy in Dakar. This was meant for workshop on human rights, gender, and rule of law. But because things has changed these 3 months, we all know what is happening in the whole world because of this COVID-19. We wrote back to the funders and said, well, we have this money to conduct workshops and meetings. There's a declaration, pronouncement by the president in this country that no public gathering for more than 15 persons. I don't think there will be any idea to conduct a workshop less than 15 people. And then there are people are now priorities, people's priorities has changed. Our former plan was to buy buckets, detergents, but we have seen the whole country is now littered with buckets and detergents. People's priorities has changed. We want food. You tell people to stay at home. I think you should give them something to support their families. So we changed also the former proposal that we sent, that we want to buy some buckets, detergent, and take it to deprived communities and distribute. But we said no, with the good leadership and dynamic of our director, he said, I think you have to change. We cannot give people to wash their hands until their hands are now getting bruises. I think the best thing is now to give them food. So with these little bags of rice, 53 bags that we are presenting here, so we are thinking giving it to deprived communities. So for your information, this is a Pisca project funded by Pisca. It's an organization based in Dakar under the French Embassy. So this is what we have for you. On that note, I wish to thank again all Tango members who are here for coming to this day with this short notice. I think we are not, somebody may say 53 bags, well, somebody like me and others may not think it is big, But there are somebody deprived, a poor person over there, who may need this 125 kilobags of rice. And I think it will have an impact on people who are locked down and are not having access to food on a daily basis. On that note, I wish to thank again for your presence here. With the short notice we gave you, you are here. We think Tango is an organization that we should cherish and hold. This is our own Gambia and this is our own Tango. So I thank you very much for your kind attention.
Good morning, everybody. I want to recognize the presence of the Deputy Director of NGO Affairs Agency. Also want to recognize the presence of the Director of Future in Our Hands, Mr. Buba, and also a representative from Action Aid in the person of Mrs. Jaju. We also want to recognize other members of the NGO community, the media, in particular GRTS, QTV, and other social media groups. I also want to recognize the presence of Mrs. Bakuri, who is also supporting this cause. As Mr. Cham, program officer, said, we had a project with the French embassy in Dakar in 2018. And this project was purposely to sensitize our security sector and civil society on basic human rights and rule of law. This is the last leg of the implementation of the project. When we got this money, unfortunately, it coincided with the coming in of the COVID-19 pandemic. And the greater part of the project was to train, as I said, security and civil society on basic human rights. But when COVID-19 came in, as Alaji said again, there was a ban on big gathering, workshops and the like. So we really appealed to the donor, which is the French embassy in Dakar, that we want to use part of the money as food aid for certain underprivileged people. The number of bags of rice is so small that it will be difficult to drive all the way to Basse in some remote areas. But we have identified some needy people within our community here, and we will be giving them part of this food aid as a contribution from Pisca and French embassy in Dakar. But before then, when COVID-19 started, the NGO communities were contributing immensely towards this. And there is no better way than calling the media and reporting what we have been doing. So we had a discussion with the Ministry of Local Government under the wing of NGO Affairs Agency. And we invited the Deputy Director, NGO Affairs, to come and report on what NGOs have been doing. But before then, we had agreed on a template, which we've shared among our members to report on what they have already done and what they have planned to do. Now, that report is now with Mr. Jabo, Ibrahim Jabo, the Deputy Director of NGO, and I will want to call him to come and report on that, unfortunately, not all the organizations have reported. But those who have reported, Mr. Jabo will report on this, and we would also report on other aspects of the fight against COVID-19. So, Mr. Jabo, can I call you to come forward and do this reporting? Thank you.
First of all, let me just briefly start by telling you who I am. I'm Ibrahim Ajabo, the Deputy Director of the NGO Affairs Agency. Like my colleague, Mr. Yabo, has just rightfully mentioned, since the pandemic started, government has been doing a lot. But in as much as government has been doing a lot, the NGOs were never left behind. They have been doing immensely well. So, but very few people can stand and tell you what they have been doing. But all of you here can bear me witness that when you watch the media, you realize that NGOs have been doing extremely well since the beginning of the COVID-19. I just want to read out some information with me. We had a series of meetings prior to this. And when we met, we have agreed to develop a template. On this template, NGOs will indicate the materials that they have bought and is meant for the COVID-19 response. We also told them, or we asked them to indicate on the template the amount, like to quantify the materials they have bought for transparency and accountability sake. Because many a times people like gossiping a lot, which they did. They responding, but is indeed very, very slow. Since we started, as I'm talking to you, our office have received only 10 reports. Only 10 NGOs have responded. But when I arrived here, Mr. Yabo did inform me that one of the biggest NGOs in the Gambia has just sent a report. I did not receive it. He has just briefed me about it. I'm going to include it. Since they started, they have been buying so many stuff. I'm just going to briefly indicate some of those. Amongst them, here I have mask is one of them, hospital materials, of course, hygiene kits, and some we are busy doing some relief work like food distribution, as we are witnessing here now. One of the NGOs I know had done some cash donations to refugees. I wouldn't mention any NGO's name. And this totaling, like if you quantify it in monetary terms, as I'm talking to you now, the NGOs have contributed about $12,121,830. I repeat, $12,121,830. But they're still responding. Like I said, one of them has responded this morning, and I realized that it is in hundreds of thousands of dollars. But as this thing, we are not praying for this pandemic, of course, to continue, but I'm sure the response will continue because people are already affected. So therefore, the NGOs will continue what they have been doing, and I'm sure it will have a great impact on the people they're trying to help out. Based on that, I want to seize the opportunity to call on those NGOs that have or are responding already to submit their reports to the NGO Affairs so that we will be able to collate accurately what NGOs have done so far since the beginning of the pandemic. Apart from that, the last meeting I had with Tango, or our office had with Tango, was between Tango, NGO Affairs, and NDMA. I just want to seize the opportunity here. We have sent emails to all the NGOs throughout the country to respond to the messages that we've sent. We've sent them 2 templates. We want them to fill these templates. It will help us to collate or to gather information as far as this pandemic is concerned. Please, please, respond to our messages so that we'll be able to have, if not 100% accurate, at least very close to that, so that we'll be able to report accurately. I would like to thank all of you for coming, the media, my colleagues from the NGO fraternity, and the rest of the guys that I may not know who they are, but in as much as you are here, thank you very much for coming. And we pray that this pandemic gets over as soon as possible with the help of Allah. May God help us all.
Now, when I looked at the amount of estimated amount spent by ActionAid is gone to 1.4 million. And this is a similar figure that has been spent by Future in Our Hands also, and many other organizations. But before we come to the presentation proper, because there are individuals who we have identified here to benefit from this. These are people, we don't know them, we have never seen them, but we are told that these are people who are hit hard by COVID-19, and we have asked those individuals to invite them here, at least to provide them with at least a small token of 1 bag each. The others also have been unable, but they are not at the moment here, and we will fish them out and provide them with this support. But before I go, I want to kindly ask Buba and ActionAid if they have anything to say in terms of towards their activity at COVID-19.
Good afternoon to you all. I think the reason why we are here today is very, very important. When it comes to the NGO fraternity, we have been playing our role even before the COVID-19. And I think in these trying times, we are also doing all that we can to ensure that the needy are supported. When it comes to ActionAid, I think we are doing a lot, especially when it comes to the sensitization bit. We are recently using the Q radio to talk about GBV issues. We know that when during health emergencies, normally these GBV issues exacerbate, especially when it comes to stresses, when it comes to money worries, you know, it exacerbates GBV. Now that the lockdown is here, when it comes to early marriages, when it comes to child abuse, when it comes to workload on women, it all increases because of the health emergencies. That is why we thought it is important to use the radio when it comes to the community radios, the national radios, to sensitize the masses against GBV actions. And one thing we are doing with network is we are going to have what we call TV classes, just as what education is doing. We have already developed 9 topics, and people have already presented on them, and very soon you will see them on QTV and the radio. We have also supported the Ministry of Health with 10,000 packets of gloves, which we think it will go a long way to help the health personnel. And we are doing that because we think it is very important. You know, these are the people in the front line, and then their security, their health should be our concern. Before thinking of anything else, we should ensure that the health personnel are there 24/7. That is why ActionAid took it upon itself to provide the Ministry of Health with 10,000 packets of gloves. And you know, ActionAid normally work through partners. And we have our LRPs in CRR and in North Bank. And what those people are doing recently is working closely with partners, distributing water tanks, food items, and we're also giving them detergents because these are the people we are working with, they are our partners. So the health centers around our LRPs are already supported with those items. The police stations around those ends are also supported with those items. And the women we are working with, when you go to the vegetable gardens, when you go to our multifunctional platforms, they are all supplied with these items. So this is what we have done so far. And just as the previous speakers have said, what we have here today is not a small token. It's a big token, and it will go a long way to support those who really need it.
Fatou, you have something few more to add?
And thank you very much, Ibrahima Jabo from the NGO Affairs, my colleagues from other NGOs. I'm also taking the opportunity just to briefly inform the gathering and also the people of the Gambia that FIH, like other NGOs, have also played its part in the fight against COVID-19. The approach that we took was we tried to identify the hard-hit areas, because what we saw is that there was a lot of concentration on the greater Banjul area and well, the combos, etc. and etc. But our approach is that we went to the hard-hit areas and we were able to cover 116 villages with hand washing materials, hand sanitizers, education, followed by education. What we did was before this education, I mean the sensitization, sensitizing people on how to prevent themselves from COVID-19. We, like I said, did this activity in 4 regions, including the KMC. We were able to provide support in the North Bank region, Lower River region, Upper River region, Central River region, and the KMC. We are still on it. We're still on it. That was the first phase of our support. But that doesn't mean that our hands are on or maybe we are not very active in that area now. We're still doing a lot, particularly on the side of education, because we think that is something that people really need. And just to comment on why we are here today, as said by the previous speakers, I think this is something that we need to thank Tango for. I don't see this as something small. This is a great intervention. And I definitely believe it's going to change the lives of the people who are in need. So thank you very much, the Tango management, board, and all the NGOs. I pray that by the end of Ramadan, we also see the end of COVID-19. That's my prayer every day. Thank you very much.
Adama, you have something to say, anything?
Good afternoon, Mr. Yabu, and thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to just add a little bit on what the African Center for Democracy and Human Rights Studies was also able to do in terms of supporting the work of NGOs, particularly for COVID-19. As has already been said, it was not anything that anyone was expecting, just out of the blue, you know. It arrived here. And as CSOs, we thought that we could do something at our levels, although, you know, there wasn't like funding just for that, or funds that, you know, were kept on the margins just for that, because as I said, it was not expected. But then when it came, you know, in our own little way, we had to do something. And I think what also Tango here is doing is worth commending. It's not much, you know, but it's quite a lot, actually. I think it's not the amount that matters, actually, but it's the thought, you know, for Tango to think that there are people out there who are more vulnerable and would find it very, very, you know, useful. So I think Tango is worth commendation on that. At our level, I work at the African Center, which is a regional organization based in Senegambia. Though we are regional, when COVID came, we are based here, and if it's anything that is going to affect people, it will of course affect us. So at our level, we made some posters and stickers, which we sent to the office of the mayor of KMC, as well as the office of the mayoress in Banjul. There were black and white posters and stickers, as well as colored. I think about 123 of each, a set of 5, I think. I hope I remember very clearly. But as I said, at our level, that was what we were able to do. It was well received by representatives of both the KMC and BCC, and I think for the BCC, they are also able to carry it as part of their outreach and communications, which I think it was on Facebook as well. They had a video which was done by the office of the mayoress. So as I said earlier, it's not much, but it's the thought behind it that we should commend ourselves for. And if there's anything else more that we can do, as civil society, I think we just need to continue to support each other. I'm not sure if there's a way that I'll be able to have the template. So if you've already not have this, as I've reported here, then I can put something in writing and send it to you. Thank you very much, and Ramadan Karim.
I think we have come to the end of the program, and then we pray to Almighty Allah so that this COVID-19, we fight it and we throw it into the river. For us, let's continue and work hard and fight this virus because it's very serious and it's dangerous. For Tango, we will continue to sensitize. We have 3 programs. We're going to the radios. We have already contracted 3 radio stations here and 1 at Birkama because we think there's so many misinformation going around. This social, and it's very dangerous. I swear I have heard people saying this is not existing here, it's not in Gambia, and they are politicizing these things. Some people are saying so many things in the media. So we help. The media is one, right now, we need you very, very much. The media has a very, very crucial role to play. Please help to sensitize people. I worked for NAS for 10 years. When HIV came here, they said there was no HIV, no AIDS, no AIDS. Right now, we have more than 20 to 25,000 people living with the virus. So this, and I heard over BBC, they are saying yesterday night that we are going to live with this virus for long, and particularly Africa. We will be most hit. Maybe the Europeans will soon erase and then dump it here. It's just like, so we have to stand very firm. People are saying no coronavirus in the Gambia. That is serious. So for all of us as CSOs, NGOs, please, let's start from our household. There is no physical or physical distance we are not even observing in this country. Even at our household, let's start from the household, we go to the community and then to the country at large, because this is very serious. They are saying, let's open this, let's do, and every disease need a host. You cannot be infected, that disease cannot infect anybody without a host. And the host of this is close contact. That's what it hates, it don't want to see. If we distance ourselves, the disease will run away. So please, for the media, help us to sensitize. Gambians are denying this. Most of us, they are denying there's no COVID-19 in this country. Please, let's stay away. Shaking hands, you go to people are hugging, kissing each other. This is serious. They are thinking it's a joke. Everybody is a Muslim here, almost 95%. Hey, yes, we know. Open the mosque now, the advocate now, open all mosques, open all churches. That's what they are shouting. Everybody is shouting. Because Senegal has opened, does that mean Gambia should open? There's a proverb in Gambia, they will carry. Alman can continue. Kundimo be fare. It's not good. Let's not say this country is doing this, Gambia also, let's follow suit. No. Let's look at our small country. we are blessed. I know the prayers will help us. So let's pray. Everybody, we thank you very much for coming. I know Tango is your Tango, so we'll continue on doing what you want us to do here. So our members, they are all standing behind the secretariat. We thank you very much, people like Buba, like Action Aid, like any other. We thank you very much.
di leen gërëm di leen sant kontaan nañ kontaan boo rëy en nañu yàlla jàppale kontaan nañ torop roxi sàmm waaw kontaan nañ
kontanta bak kontano danta dam ba far mol be ala barka courant ni ala ma ñu ma bala mol kun
amin
maa ngi leen gërëm maa ngi leen sant nuyu naa mbooloo mi yëpp ku nekk ak turam ak santam suñu liggéey bi baax na albarka ñu ngi leen gërëm yàlla ñu yàlla gërëm ci barke Qur'anul Karim jërëjëf.
What's your name?
My name is Usman Yabo.
Usman, why did you come up with this initiative?
Now, it's difficult to explain, but you can understand Gambia is a very poor country. And if you have emergencies of this nature, where people are asked to stay at home, people have stopped working, people have stopped going up and down or reduced going up and down, and you would expect that there would be hardship. And if there is hardship, I think we should come out with initiatives to support the needy ones.
It's like Tango is supporting, but how do you select these beneficiaries? We are seeing different people here receiving. How do you select them?
Well, most of these beneficiaries, we do not know them. It's the communities that identify them. I don't know, maybe one or two I know, but the rest I don't know them. But we were told, and we did a background check, that told these are people who their daily living is like going out and do some work for people, and they pay them, they go and buy food in the market, and they don't have like a monthly earning. The people who go out during the day, if you have some work to do, you tell them either washing or ironing or those kind of things, they do it for you, you pay them, and they go out and look for food.
This is about Tango, and how is this NGOs responding towards the COVID-19 in the Gambia?
Well, that is why NGO Affairs Agent, we invited them to come, because we've developed a template to report what they have been implementing in the communities, particularly in terms of sensitizing the communities. And I think quite a number of activities have been carried out throughout the whole country. For only those who have implemented, if you can't quantify it, you are talking about almost $40–50 million as at now. And the programs are continuing. You had NGOs, some NGOs saying we are continuing our programs. We are investing in this because the COVID-19 is here and it's still a dangerous thing, and we will not rest unless this virus is conquered.
It's like these funds, it was meant for some other thing before it was transformed, and then it's like you buying some stuffs and distributing them. With Tango, it's like, what are we going to expect again? This was fund that was not meant for this. What are we going to expect from you people apart from this one?
I must first of all thank the French embassy in Dakar. In 2018, we agreed with them a project funded almost $2 million. And this was supposed to go towards sensitizing the security people on basic rule of law, human rights, democracy, and the like. Now, and we were doing that for almost 2 years. Now, suddenly, COVID-19 came in. And then there is a ban on gathering. Now, what do? Do we have to leave this money lying down in the bank? No. We've written to the project officer in Dakar and proposed that COVID-19 is here. And COVID-19 is not only in the Gambia, it's all over the world. And if we can use part of the money to support the needy people. When they checked into the objectives of the project, they said, yes, you can do it since you are sensitizing people on basic human rights. This COVID-19 also pandemic can be, also human rights issue. So we propose that we want to buy some of the materials. We want to buy like buckets, liquid, and the like, convert it to food aid. And that is the result why we have 53 bags of rice to give it to the needy people. We want to thank Tamara, is the coordinator in Dakar, and everybody in the embassy, the French ambassador, for providing us these funds.
Thank you very much. What's your name?
I'm Mambabu Sow of YAFSI, Director of YAFSI Youth Action for Food Self-Sufficiency and Education.
It's like you also come to witness this gathering. Yes. How is the NGOs, or how is your NGO supporting towards this COVID-19?
Well, the only way we can support is to sensitize and also try to put government to task. Because if you look at it properly, there's sort of food dragging, the way I see things. We should take this seriously. It's like a war.
What do you mean by food dragging?
Food dragging means giving food, sugar items. That's not the solution. Let's do random testing, because it's a war. In warfare, you have to know where your enemy is. Who is the enemy? Then you eliminate the enemy. But if you don't do random testing, how can you eliminate the disease? That's the bottom line. They have to do random testing if we are serious to eradicate this disease, this pandemic. People are very, taking this lightly. Countries are trying to open their borders because of economic gains, but life and economy, I think life is more worth than economy.
Are you saying the government is not taking this serious?
The way I see it. They are taking it serious, but I think the strategy that they are applying, they need to look at the strategy and try to do another, try to do something else by doing random testing.
Apart from this random testing, what did you expect them to do?
What I expect from them to do is to sensitize the people, for them to know that this is serious, it's a reality, because still some people don't believe this is a reality. So to educate the people, the masses, the Gambian people, for them to be aware of this, pandemic. Then we start the other chapter, that is by doing random testing. I emphasize the random testing, because if you want to know your enemy, you should know where your enemy is. Then you try to eliminate the enemy. It's a warfare, and this can go a long way. You see, European countries they are more equipped than African countries. The so-called developed world. They are more equipped. But we too should come together. Put our resources together. Then we eliminate this pandemic. If not, I don't see the way that this can be can be here for many years.
You are part of an NGO. What did you do to fight this COVID-19, and what are we expecting from you again?
Presently, the only way what we are doing is to sensitize our beneficiaries, communities. We go to them, we talk to them to take this seriously, and to do the lockdown, to do this serious, to do distancing. These are things that we have to, implement, to distance ourselves, to close the mosques.
What more can we expect from you?
Well, the only thing that I can do now is to come to my umbrella organization, Tango, to support Tango, because I cannot do it alone. We must come together. to fight it. So the only way we can do is to come to the umbrella organization Tango, bring our ideas, bring our resources together, see where we can tap resources to try and tackle this pandemic.
Are you thinking of owning your dream homes? EJ Investment is here for you. Secure our quality bungalows with 2, 3 or 4 bedrooms, or our story buildings 3 or 4 to 5 bedrooms at very affordable prices with flexible payment plans at our Sanyang Seaview Estate, where you can enjoy the cool breeze with modern infrastructure such as tar roads, covered drainage system, modern electrification with street lights, gated entrance with security posts, and social amenities such as gas station, shopping mall, medical clinic, park, schools, children daycare, and a lot more. Our dedicated team of professionals will keep the estate clean at all times, provide security and patrol team within the estate premises, install latest technologies such as CCTV, Wi-Fi, home network installation, solar panel, and power backup system. Also, check out for our additional home facilities and interior design service such as premium tiling, wall plaster, home landscape, fingerprint home lock, and a lot more. Visit our office at Senegambia Kololi Highway and get a free site visit tour, or contact us on 4464838. WhatsApp us on 3259220. Or you can visit our Facebook page or Instagram on EJ Investments. EJ Investments, we are first in properties.
Agada.
Mbijan aganya.
Albaka.
Mbaka important.
Yo, nga transfer la sto.
Ya transfer la sto.
Ha, code nyenji.
Okay. What's Nsila ID soto.
Ah, sa soto. Sorry. Agada.
Mbijan bro.
Albaka.
Mbaka.
Bara alla service o tariaka.
Ah,
mbare. Mo ki janna nun kunu bara tariaka.
Ah, jannom yona forest de bureau. Gambia tonkon na no mbali ya bere. Ha. Birim koyna fo kato.
Bari si kodo kino kato ni fo bolong labe ko.
56 branches mola sota Gambia ja.
Ha?
Ha. Gambia kono ani Gambia bantala bankol. Nko kodo kiya bere. Kodo sifa fo falindiro fo nyaadi lafta même na kodi to poto ni kodi maraw. Jannom number 1 ti nyonta. Andum fana nata anoda enterprise sotale. Wolam nyindi ko domorol fana kol fana be firale de dadi man domorol dir fana beteata. Gambia dawda yalo ngam fa kendol sotale je.
Ha e wo moyo diat ha.
Apelenta
baraka. Ni mo lafta nyelen kendol e binaji.
Yalo bukani la ko la baraka ba.
Yalo ndel chosano lo.
Baraka.